Hi, welcome to our kitchen on the Wardenberg family farm. I'm experimenting today. I'm going to make rhubarb orange marmalade. So what do you do when you have a whole bunch of rhubarb? You go on Pinterest and you start looking for recipes. And I found rhubarb orange marmalade, which intrigued me. Donnie loves orange marmalade. So I thought, well, add rhubarb to it. I don't know, it just sounded interesting. So that's what we're going to try today. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. And this is our rhubarb we grew on the farm. We have quite a bit of it right now. And I'm going to start by cutting the ends off and cutting it into pieces. Just want to make sure the ends aren't dried out at all. I'm going to cut it in fairly small pieces. I think it'll cook a little better that way. So just a lot of chopping to start with. It calls for, I think, 6 cups of fresh rhubarb. I think I'll have more than enough for 6 cups. We'll make one batch of this. If we like it then, I can always make more, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't peel my rhubarb. Number one, I like that nice red pinkish color that comes in, but it's not really stringy, so I don't think it really needs it. Remember last year I made rhubarb butter. Oh, that was good. Kind of like apple butter, but with rhubarb. So this is just something a little different.
Okay, do you want to hear something silly?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm a little embarrassed to say it, but when you were talking about making this,
Yes.
I heard the words, but my brain said asparagus marmalade.
That's because we're overflowing with asparagus right now too. That's what we have a lot of right now, asparagus and rhubarb.
Some reason it connected with asparagus.
Well, I was working with asparagus this morning. I made an asparagus feta egg casserole.
Yeah.
2 big casseroles and then froze them in squares. So we're going to have asparagus feta casserole anytime we want.
Yeah, but I couldn't bridge the gap. So
Well, yeah, I can't picture asparagus marmalade. That would not be appealing.
not a big seller.
But
Probably.
rhubarb, there is a lot of things you can do with it. So I'm going to be experimenting a lot.
See, I think rhubarb is the perfect companion
Yeah.
fruit with something else as the
Well,
lead.
especially with strawberries.
Strawberry rhubarb.
We have little tiny strawberries coming.
Oh, I didn't
don't
see
know how,
those.
yeah, just little babies. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to ripen, but we have strawberries on the way.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. But yeah, rhubarb and strawberry goes really well together.
How about the other exciting news?
Oh, the pawpaws?
Yeah.
We have a pawpaw tree in our backyard, and we always thought you had to have 2 pawpaws to have fruit, which we have now since planted little tiny baby pawpaws, but they're not really near the big tree. Well, I guess you don't have
Well,
to
they're
have...
not mature yet either,
No,
so I don't think
they don't
have
have
any
blossoms
effect.
or anything like that. But he went out today and saw tiny little baby pawpaws on it. And I knew I had seen the blossoms, but I didn't think it would turn into anything. So we might have some pawpaws to eat this year. That is very exciting.
You know, everyone might not know what a pawpaw is.
Why don't you describe it? They are delicious.
Yeah, I heard it's George Washington's favorite fruit. And it's highly perishable, so you don't see them in the stores. But it is, I think it's the largest native fruit in the U.S.
Is it?
Yeah. And what does it taste like? It tastes kind of like, how would you describe it?
Pineapple.
Custardy.
Yeah, it's a very custardy, smooth texture.
I don't get pineapple. I get more like a banana custardy
Well,
feeling.
I don't know. It's kind of like a tropical mix of things.
It
But it is just... Well, tell them how we tasted it for the first time.
very tropical. It's unusual.
Yeah, it's extremely unusual.
So we were on like a 3 or 4 day hike on the Appalachian Trail, and we were south of here, down at the West Virginia and Maryland line, and we saw somebody throwing rocks up into trees.
Which seemed a little strange.
What he was doing. And he says, "Oh, I'm just trying to knock down some pawpaws." And we said, What? Pawpaws? We had never heard of them. So he gave us one of his pawpaws. And it was amazing.
Delicious. And
I'm not sure it was why. Maybe it was so good because we were tired and hungry hiking
starving.
too.
Well, we had them one other time. We went to a pawpaw. Wasn't there a pawpaw festival?
Yeah.
That's where we got our pawpaw tree.
Yeah.
At a pawpaw festival. And we had something to eat that day too. We tried a couple different kinds, which I loved all of them. So I don't think there's a problem with whatever kind we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the one big one and we have 5 small ones somebody gave to us as little tiny seedlings. And I've had them in my garden nursery for, what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
And
you're supposed to grow them with, you know,
some shade. They don't like bright, hot sun. So since he extended the nursery, the orchard, now we have 4 pawpaws in the orchard. And we're going to plant the other one close to the big pawpaw.
All right, so we will promise you one thing right here and now, that if we have some pawpaws, we will either make something or we'll just sit here and eat a whole pawpaw in front of
We'll probably just sit here and eat it. That would be my guess.
Okay.
I don't know. If we'll have enough for a recipe, I don't know. Who knows? But I'm anxious to have one. That'll be fun. So I just have a lot of chopping to do. I'll bring you back after I get all the rhubarb chopped up.
We'll come back when you're done.
All right, got my 6 cups of rhubarb. I'm gonna put that in the pot. It looks so pretty, you know. They're pretty red and green together.
Yeah.
And then it's 6 cups of sugar. Not a low sugar recipe, but a lot of jams are not low sugar. No. This recipe does not use pectin, however. The orange has plenty of pectin in it, so we don't need to do that. Now the oranges, you do something a little interesting with. I'm gonna cut them up and get all the seeds out. And then you actually put them in a food processor and just puree them up, the whole orange. Peel, everything, which I'm interested to see what happens here, because usually when we've made orange marmalade, you have to get the pith out, that white part. But this recipe has you pureeing the entire orange.
Okay, so I wonder what kind of orange is better. Now, I didn't know.
They said the recipe called for a navel orange, so we bought.
Oh, really? That is navel orange.
Navel oranges.
Okay, because the navel orange has more pith.
Oh, really? Well, it calls for a navel.
Definitely much thicker.
Now, I wonder, when you make orange marmalade, it's completely orange, so there would be a lot of pith. But since this only uses 2 orange, maybe it's not enough to really make it bitter, taste funny? I don't know. I'm only making 1 batch of this to see if we like it. If we like it, then I'll make more. But I tasted these orange. They're good, but they're not, you know, knock your socks off good. And navel oranges, you never know. Sometimes they are the best thing in the world. Other times, they're okay.
Well, in my opinion, being a native Floridian.
That's true. He was born in Florida.
Yeah. Navel, they're the best looking, but they're not the best tasting orange.
So what is the best tasting orange?
I can't remember off the top of my head the other, but the other ones have a much thinner skin. They're not as beautiful, but they are much tastier.
And I'm not finding any seeds in these. Do they not have seeds? I haven't found a single seed.
I don't know. I think you exceeded my orange knowledge there. I went blowing off about being...
You're born in Florida.
Yeah, but I don't really know that much about oranges. You got me.
Well, we'll see what happens here. But I'm cutting them back, so I would find seeds if there were seeds in there.
Yeah.
I haven't found any.
And unfortunately, sometimes seedless varieties of fruit, consumers love them for that reason. But again, they're not always the best tasting.
Like watermelon.
Yes.
Watermelon, I love it, but it's a pain to eat because of the seeds.
Well, that's why they did seedless, but
yeah, they usually aren't
they don't
as good.
taste as good.
All right, so I put the orange in there.
It's going to be a mighty thunder here.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of noise until it's all kind of like a mush.
Yeah, a lot of thuds.
See what it looks like here.
See, now if that was the kind of oranges I'm familiar, there'd be a lot more juice in there.
I think that's about right. I don't see any really big pieces. It looks good.
Let's see.
You want some pieces of orange. That's orange marmalade. You always have little pieces of peel in the marmalade.
Okay.
And then you just put this in the pot with the rest of the stuff.
All right.
This is interesting. Can't wait to see if it turns out. I hope it does. I like it when things work out. So I'm just putting the orange right in with the rhubarb and the sugar. And that's all. That's it. There's only 3 ingredients: rhubarb, sugar, and orange. 2 oranges. I'll put the recipe below in the description too, so if you ever want to make it.
Let's see what this looks like.
There you go. And now we start to cook it.
Okay.
And all you do is cook it until it gets to a gel, and we'll be canning it.
That is bizarre.
I know.
You sure you don't want asparagus in there too?
Yeah. I could make you asparagus jam if you really have your heart set on it. Get this all mixed up and get it started cooking.
I guess this, when it cooks, some of the water will come out.
The water from the rhubarb will come out, yes.
Yeah.
Because rhubarb has a good bit of juice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I remain hopeful.
Yeah, we'll bring it back once it starts cooking down to show you how it looks, partway through. Okay, the rhubarb has come to a boil, and now I turn it down to a simmer for roughly an hour. At about 40 or 50 minutes, I'll start doing the plate test to see if it's gelled. But it smells like orange. That's the predominant odor. So it'll be interesting to see what the predominant taste is. So I just have to stir it often enough so it doesn't burn on the bottom of the pot.
It does smell great.
Yeah, but see all that juice it cooked out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, the marmalade has been cooking for almost an hour. I'm going to do a plate test to see if it has gelled up yet. It's looking thick, so I'm thinking it's going to pass the test. And for those of you who don't know what the plate test is, I've had this plate in the freezer. I put some jam on. I'm going to put it back in the freezer for 1 minute and then check to see how it is. It gives you an idea what it's going to be like when it's done, so you'll know if it's finished. I just have to wait 1 minute.
Let's look at this stuff here. Ooh, looks nice.
It's been in the freezer for 1 minute, and now I'm going to run my finger through it. And the test is, if it stays separated, it's gelled. If it runs back together, it's not ready. So I'd say it's ready. And kind of tastes good. So now it's time to get the canning jars out and jar it up and get it in the canner. Interesting.
When do I get to eat some?
As soon as it cools off. Okay. And he's going to be the real taste tester because I'm not a big marmalade fan. He's the marmalade guy. That's why I made this, just to see if it's something he would like and to use up some rhubarb. Maybe I'll become a rhubarb or a marmalade fan since there's rhubarb in it. Who knows? Might happen. All right. So here's that marmalade. I just have to get all the jars. They've been in the canner, keeping warm.
It has it's a pleasing color.
Mm-hmm. It's not real pink. I was thinking it might be pinker.
Yeah.
I think it took on more the color of the oranges, actually. So nice hot jars. When you're canning, if you're canning something hot, you need to put it in hot jars. Whereas if you're canning something cold, you start with cold jars. So they should be just as hot as the jam and ready to go.
How many jars are you expecting to?
I think it said 8 or 9 it made. I always heat extra jars just in case. And we're going to be keeping 1 jar out for us to eat right away. Or whatever doesn't fill a jar up, the leftovers. I think we'll have to have an English muffin with some butter and marmalade.
Sure, yeah, I'm anxious.
We'll get ours cooled down quick so we can taste it.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
All right, the moment of truth. Taste it.
Okay.
Again, he's the marmalade expert, not me.
No, I'm not the expert at all.
Well, you really
I'm an
like
eating
marmalade.
expert, yeah, and not making. But,
No, well, tasting.
okay. All right.
How it should be, if it's good or not.
If I'm completely honest, I don't have. My expectations are that it's going to be good, but not great.
Oh, gee.
I don't know why. But that's what I'm going into this. I don't know why.
Okay, low expectations.
No, low, just kind of medium. Like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of what I expected.
Okay.
So,
We'll see if I like it since I'm not a big marmalade person. But maybe I like it more because there's rhubarb in it.
yeah, well, maybe. It's pleasing color and it seems to have good consistency.
I just smell orange.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can smell the orange. So
Go
here
for
we
it.
go. Ooh,
That's actually pretty good.
that's very good. Wow.
Now see, I'm not crazy about plain orange marmalade, but I like this. Yeah,
I
I'd
like
eat
it
this.
better than orange marmalade.
Oh,
Actually,
good, because making real orange marmalade is a pain.
It has a really good a better balance, and I mean sometimes I like the little bits in the orange marmalade, the chunks, but sometimes I just tired of them.
Well, this still has little bits.
This has chunks, but they're not like
Yeah,
as hard.
well, in Rhubarb marmalade, it's supposed to be julienne. It's
Okay.
like thin strips of orange
Yeah.
peel. So you give it a thumbs up. I might have to make some more. I have plenty of rhubarb.
No, seriously, this is really, really good.
Well, good. I'll make
Wow.
more then. We'll have plenty.
The only thing I'm not sure is maybe the asparagus jelly would have been better.
I actually did a search just to make sure there's no such thing as asparagus jelly.
But you know,
No,
you might be the first to make it,
I
and
think-
you could name it.
I don't think I'll.
Brenda's
I don't think I'll try.
asparagus.
There are some really good asparagus recipes, though. I should probably do a video on that because we've been eating asparagus almost every day.
Yeah.
So we'll have to share
Did
some
you
of our
say
asparagus
there was
things.
one like a relish or something?
I saw a spicy asparagus relish. That sounds interesting. I like weird stuff. So I don't
guess
know.
that's good for me.
That's what I'll try next. So, gee, thanks for coming along as I made rhubarb orange marmalade. See you in our next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I like it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
I should have done a whole English muffin. I only did a half.
yeah, I know. I'm glad I had a whole one. Had a small dinner.
I'll have a whole one with breakfast tomorrow.
I think Ruby's grooming over there.
Yeah, she's tired, but great. Aren't you, girl? You about ready to go out and play? It's raining. We'll probably have to play inside.
Well, I'm really happy that I got the bees. I think I'm all settled in. I weeded the area.
Good.
And-
Did you spray the poison ivy?
Yeah, and there were a couple of those little trees growing.
Oh, yeah.
I got rid of those.
Okay. They're weeds.
Weed trees,
Yeah.
something. But they were pretty woody. Yeah. And then the whole orchard is good to go.
Okay.
I'm still worried about the leaf curl on those. On the peaches.
Peaches and nectarine.
And
I
nectarine.
really hope we get peaches.
Yeah.
I want peaches.
I know.
Peaches and pears.
Yeah. So you happy with what you got done?
I am. Thanks for helping with the mulch.
Yeah.
Now the garden's all done.
Good.
Well, the parts I can do. Still have to mulch the whole tunnel. I have parts of it done, but still a lot more to go.
Yeah. Cool. Well, you gonna watch a movie tonight or just sit in the porch?
It's too cold. Sit in the porch, I think.
You're the one that's always warm.
Yeah, but you'll be cold. We'll see. Maybe it's a movie night.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe I'll have another English muffin later.
Sounds good.